If you have ever faced a crisis of faith when you have been surrounded by uncertainty, this story today is for you. This is Hear God Now. Today we will walk with Abraham as he faced this exact problem throughout his entire life. And then, at the moment of his ultimate crisis, you will hear the voice of the Lord, explaining how this story directly relates to you. And do not miss the end, where God will reveal one of the most profound mysteries you will ever hear. He's known as the father of faith, the man who started it all. But what most don't realize is that Abraham battled fear his entire life. It began the day God told him to leave everything behind: his home, his family, his comfort. Go to a land I will show you. No map, no destination, just a promise. And so he went. Abraham's life is not one that is known for defeating every enemy he encountered. The father of faith is actually no different than you or me, a man who struggled with facing uncertainty. If he followed God's plan, the first thing he had to ask was, what was to become of his life? Where was he going to live? How was he going to provide for his family? Those type of questions might be suitable for a young man as he embarks on his journey. But what about when you're already settled into what you assumed to be your golden years? These aren't ancient, unrelatable fears. These are the very questions that gnaw at us as well. Their only choice was to either ignore God's calling and stick with familiarity, or they could step out into the vast unknown on the hopes of a promise. But this was a promise that spoke directly to Abraham's deepest human desire.
I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and your descendants will be as numerous as the stars.
A nation from Abraham, from Sarah, who was barren. The very idea of all this must have seemed like madness. They both desperately wanted a family, a safe family, a healthy family, a child of their own, and the voice of the Lord had promised exactly this. But even more than they could imagine, the promise went beyond a son, to a legacy as vast as the stars. But to get it, they would have to walk directly into the face of uncertainty. That decision to show trust over every rational fear, over every lost comfort zone, that's where Abraham's journey begins. He went out, not knowing where he was going. He chose to walk by faith and not by sight. And over the years, Abraham was blessed abundantly. Prosperity, protection, all the comforts a man can ask for. Except that one thing, the son of promise, the heir through whom a great nation would come. That promise remained unfulfilled. Had Abraham made a mistake? Had God abandoned him? At times he probably thought his prayers seemed to echo in an empty sky as he and Sarah grew even older and older, well past the age of childbearing. The unfulfilled promise made him question his trust in God. But God was masterfully weaving an intricate plan behind the scenes, waiting for just the perfect moment to display his miraculous power. And display it he did, against all odds, against the very laws of nature. When Abraham was 100 years old and Sarah 90, the laughter of a newborn son finally filled their tent. Isaac, the child of promise, a testament to God's unwavering faithfulness, a living symbol that what God decrees, he brings to pass, no matter how impossible it seems to man. But that wasn't the end of Abraham's trial of faith. No, it was just the beginning. Because just as his boy was turning into a young man, came the ultimate test. Isaac, the long-awaited son of promise, the very embodiment of God's faithfulness, was to be sacrificed as an offering. Can we even comprehend the sheer agony Abraham must have felt? To be asked to sacrifice the very promise God himself had miraculously given. This wasn't just fear of an unknown outcome. This was a command that seemed to negate everything God had ever promised. But this is where Abraham's faith, forged in years of walking with God through uncertainty, held firm. He believed that God, who had promised so much through Isaac, was able to keep his word, even if it meant raising Isaac from the dead. And as Abraham raised the knife to deliver the fatal blow, an angel of the Lord called out, "Abraham!" He was stopped, and in that moment he looked. A ram was provided instead. The promise was preserved. God had remained faithful, because faithful is who he is. And this story, like all the others, was never meant to remain in the past. It was designed to carry his voice to you, right here, right now.
Look at Abraham and Sarah, my beloved servants. They faced an unknown path, a barren womb, and even an impossible command. But Abraham trusted my promise. But remember, you, my child, have not only my promises, but also the proof of my faithfulness. I will do for you what I did for them. So fear not where I lead you, for I am with you to direct your path. My plans for you are good, so do not fear. My timing is always perfect. And those who hope in me will renew their strength. Remember Abraham on Moriah. He was willing to surrender everything, trusting that I am the God of the impossible, the God who provides. Did you know that the place called Moriah, where Abraham was to sacrifice Isaac, his only son, is the very spot where I did sacrifice my only son for you?
The story of Abraham is just one of many where faith overcomes fear, every single time. If you enjoyed this message, please check out our other videos and subscribe so you never miss one. And most importantly, always remember to read the word for yourself so you can truly hear God now.